Hey guys, this is a QuickBooks discussion. I'm Eric Knight, your professor for this course. Today I'm going to talk about the beginnings of QuickBooks. It's a big part of this course. I would suggest you watch the entire video because even though you might understand some of the stuff in the beginning, I'm going to switch gears and talk about different things. So you might want to watch it through just so you know that. I want you to watch all the videos I make. I don't make videos unless I really feel like it's useful, and I also explain the expectations, and I explain how I'm going to deal with certain things in the assignments. And so that's one good thing. And also I try to keep them short. If they go over 10 minutes, that's very rare. If I can keep them to 5 minutes, that's what I try to do. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, let's first of all start about getting access to QuickBooks. So I like to go into the courses, into the modules area. And then I go down to, if you go to Start Here area, there's an area for QuickBooks Student Access. So when I scroll down into this area, you should read through this stuff on your own, but what I did was I highlighted this and I opened it up in a different browser. Actually, I said a different browser, but I mean a different window. That's something that you might consider when I talk about browsers. If you're having trouble with QuickBooks in one browser, go ahead and try a different browser. You never know. Chrome, Mozilla, Explorer, those are different browsers that you could try that might be useful for you. Then you go to register, and then you go to student. Now I went to educators because as the instructor, but when you go to students, it's going to walk you through. So you can see here we're going through, and it helps you. Now you might have to verify who you are. I had to do that when I was getting it. I had to send them some paperwork. They wanted me to send them something showing that I was a teacher at Baker. So you might have to send them something too. I don't know. That's really outside of my hands. So go ahead and do this and get access to it. So I went ahead and opened up the textbook, a digital version of the textbook. And in chapter 1, they talk about creating a new QuickBooks account and how to get access to it through your textbook. Now, honestly, I don't know if this is going to work for you or not. That's really outside of my hands. If it works for you this way, that's fine. The only way I know how to do it is the way I just showed you a few minutes ago. So this is really something that you would do on your own if you wanted to try to use your textbook to get a license number. That would be for you to try. Now, if you're trying to get access to QuickBooks and you're running, you're going to need to contact tech support either through Intuit or through Baker to get help. Really, this is as much as I know what I'm telling you here. I don't have any kind of special access to give you instructions or to help you with support to get into a QuickBooks account. So I'm not trying to pass the buck, but it's just, obviously all I can do is teach from the textbook. I don't really have access to fix things for you in QuickBooks. So what I would suggest is to contact them. Now, you can definitely let me know about the situation and keep me appraised, but you need to definitely go to customer support if you're having trouble getting access. Okay, so let's look at the book a little bit. I'm looking at a digital version. I'm not sure what you have, if you have a hard copy or digital version, but we're going to look at the digital version, which should be the exact same thing. So the way this book is designed. The way this book is designed is for you to kind of work through it piece by piece with the authors. So you'll notice that in chapter 1, you'll notice that in module 1 of our course, you don't have any assignments for QuickBooks. What you really need to do is get into QuickBooks as soon as possible. In module 2, you have an assignment, and that assignment's in chapter 3. But if you skip chapters 1 and 2, you're kind of asking for trouble. Really, the way this book is designed is for you to go from the beginning to the end, following it piece by piece. So what I would do is go ahead and read through the entire book. As a matter of fact, the preface is got some useful information for you too. In this course, we're going to do case 1, and you'll notice that this preface has some information that you're going to probably need to know later on. So just remember to keep that in mind. So go ahead and read through the entire preface, and then go ahead and go into chapter 1. And I would do this all in week 1. So here I go. I've got QuickBooks Online opened up, and you can see how it looks for you. And you're going to have one company that you're going to be able to work with, and that one company is a case that's going to be used throughout the entire term. Now, the case doesn't start in chapter 1. However, I would definitely go through chapter 1 and go through and look at the different areas of QuickBooks as it walks you through. Now, keep in mind that QuickBooks Online is a very dynamic software, meaning that it changes all the time, much faster than the textbook can make changes. So you've got to keep in mind that some of the things they say in the textbook may not exactly look like what it looks like in QuickBooks, and you really can't hold the publisher accountable for that, because QuickBooks Online can make these changes overnight, and the publisher has, takes a long time to get new books out. Let's look at an example. So here we have just a walkthrough in chapter 1 where they talk about what different things are in QuickBooks. And one of the things they point out is there's a little plus icon here, and it says, to create new items like customers, vendors, etc. Now, when you look at the actual QuickBooks, let's switch over to that. You'll notice that that little plus arrow, that little plus is not there. It's over here now. So they moved it. Well, no big deal. The thing about QuickBooks is that the functionalities and features are all going to the functionalities and features are all going to be there. It's just that they might change a little bit the way things look. That can be frustrating, but you have to get used to that if you're going to be an accountant, because these kinds of things change all the time. Here's another thing that might be confusing. In this first part of chapter 1, they talk about assigning the instructor as the company's accountant. Now, this is not required. I don't really necessarily want you to do this, but if you were trying to do that, it says to click on the gear and then select Manage Users. Well, I noticed that wasn't an option for me when I set up my account. I go up here, I click on the gear, and there's no Manage Users. However, if I look at an example company, and we'll talk about this later, but here's an example company that's not my account, but an example company. This is an example company called Craig's Design. We're going to see this, and this is going to be later, so don't worry about it. But what you'll notice is when you click on the gear, Manage Users is there. So I think what happens is when you first set up your company, you have to get things set up more complete for it to allow you to select an accountant. Now, again, you don't really need to do this. If you have a question, you can email me the question, and that's probably the best way, because if you tell me that you have something's not working for you, or you're having a problem with your QuickBooks, one of the things I'm going to want you to do is explain to me, what you're doing and why you're doing it. And just me going into your company is not going to give me that information. So it might just be, useless for you to try to do that. So it's up to you. I'm not going to stop you from assigning an instructor as the accountant, but I don't at this point see that it's going to be that much help for you either. Chapter 1, and just read through everything that's going on. Even if you're very familiar with QuickBooks, I think it's going to be helpful for you, because you're going to get an idea of what's going to happen as far as the author's perspective on this course. Now, I know that I talk about trying to keep the videos below 10 minutes, but I want to also talk about chapter 2. So instead of doing a separate video, just bear with me, and instead of being a 10-minute video, it might be a 10 or 11 or 12-minute video. But if you go to chapter 2, what you're going to do is it's going to walk you through. And again, there's no assignments from chapter 2, but I really think this would be very useful for you. Even if you're very familiar with QuickBooks, you're going to get a feel for some of the things that we're going to use throughout this course. And so what you need to do is, first of all, open the sample company. So when you're going through chapter 2, you're going to eventually get to a place where it shows you the sample company. So if you highlight that and open it in your browser, They highlight that and open it in your browser. They show you Craig's Design and Landscape Services. This is going to be your example company that you're going to use for Chapter 2, just so you can see the different elements with data and information in there. So going through, just follow along with this as you go through each area, and you'll notice that the authors try to walk you through all the different parts of QuickBooks. Walks you through all these different areas, and they focus on the things that you're going to be doing in the course. So just to finalize this this video, definitely suggest that you walk through the chapter piece by piece. If you want to go ahead and skip to the end, and try to do the assignment without going through the chapter, I think you're going to end up frustrating yourself. If you try to jump straight into Chapter 3 without going through Chapter 1 and 2, maybe frustrating yourself, because there's a lot of things the authors do that build on itself. So by going through every little part of the chapters and then doing the assignment, I think really that's going to be saving a time saver than taking more time. QuickBooks assignments are going to take a while for you to do, and I'm going to try to put a little video each time, each week that we have a QuickBooks assignment, to explain a little bit of it and just kind of get you started. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy learning about QuickBooks. It's a very valuable tool and a very valuable skill that you'll have as an accountant. Okay, I wanted to give you a few tools that could be useful for you when you're learning QuickBooks. Now, one of the websites that I ran across when I was looking over QuickBooks, this has been a couple of years, was this website. I'll put the URL and the announcement. fitsmallbusiness.com, how to set up your QuickBooks online. And there's a whole online course. I know that you already have a lot on your plate, but the author did a really good job and really broke things down for you, and you might just find it to be very useful for you learning different elements of QuickBooks. You also notice that YouTube just has a ton of videos on QuickBooks. I mean, you have to make sure it's the same version of QuickBooks that you're using. But if you just go to YouTube, you can find tons of videos and tutorials to help you with different things. The textbook is pretty good. They explain things, but if you want, further demonstration, a little bit of a different perspective on how to do something, it's a really good place to find it. For example, this is a QuickBooks course on creating fixed asset accounts. Now, whether or not we do this in the course is, not the point. Just you can find tutorials on every little element that you might need to know. So that's just two things you can use as ways to help you